Hi everyone, I hope things are going well. I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on the Writing Center here at Mercy College to be able to say, hey, here's some resources that are available to you. I've talked to you about Clay Charlotte in the past, so you can kind of see his contact information here. If you ever want just that second set of eyes on your paper, he's the gentleman to refer, basically to utilize in that regard. So general information is also found on the web though, and that's really what I wanted to highlight is that if you go to mercycollege.edu, you can kind of see the breadcrumbs here. You click on to My Mercy, which will be in the orange box. Then you would click on to Student Affairs, and then the Writing Center. This is what will populate, or you can just Google Mercy College Writing Center, and you should be able to see this exact page, same type of idea. But what I really wanted to show you is if you scroll down, you can see some general guidelines and also a sample paper, plagiarism tips, and I think all of these pieces of information certainly will help. So just to kind of click onto the guidelines and go through this a little bit, I just wanted to show you some general tips. So it gives a nice definition of plagiarism. Basically, it's stating if it's information that you didn't know before you started writing this paper, it's considered to be plagiarism, okay, or anything that you take subsequently word for word from a different source and you're not citing it. So make sure that citations do take place. Now, other general rules, general guidelines is, yes, the formatting should be done on a traditional 8.5 by 11-inch paper. Times New Roman is typically the font of choice, 12-point font, 1-inch uniform margins, text flush left, so on and so forth. So that's kind of the general setup, general structure of your papers. So just kind of for all papers going forward, set it up with that uniform Times New Roman 12-point font, 1-inch uniform margins, just by default. Okay, title page information talks to you a little bit about the components that are associated there, just making sure that you get essentially the running head, the paper title, and the paper page number indicated there. A little bit of information here about the abstract, so making sure that for yours it's between about 50 to 150 words if an abstract's required for that individual paper. First page of text is typically on page 3 when an abstract's required. Some information there. It also talks about references. So it kind of gives you some examples going through of some references. Really where I would encourage you to go for references is a website, and let me type it in. It's bibme.org. This is one of my favorite websites in that I think it's nice and quick and nice and easy. So what you would do is just click onto APA, and then what you can do beyond that is then you can say, is it a journal, is it a website, is it a book? So typically we find the majority of things on the website. So what you can just do, click on the website, drop in your URL, and then hit search, and then accordingly some information will populate. So we'll go back to one of my old ones and we'll see what happens. We'll hit search. Sorry, no information's found, so create your own manual citation. And then from there you can just type in your article name and that type of thing, that information. If it does find it, what it'll do is it'll auto-populate it for you, which can save you a lot of time. But if you have to do it manually, just plug in the information in the appropriate fields, hit create citation, and that should generate an APA citation for you. One that you can copy and then paste right into your document, so it'll save you a lot of time that way. So I encourage you to look at that resource for your citation tool. That way you can assure it's in the appropriate format based on the current edition of APA style formatting. Other information that I wanted to direct you to, so let's just go back a little bit. Let's see. So going back to the college webpage, I just wanted to click onto the sample page. Now I've given you comments about your individual papers based on the 6th edition APA manual. Okay, so Mercy College just gave me this resource here. So apparently there's a new preferred version, or relatively new preferred version. It has majority of the same elements, but I just wanted to get you that information. So running head. is indicated here. You can see the casing style, so capital R, lowercase throughout, colon, and then a capital name of your paper all the way across. Then you can see the true name of the paper is indicated there. So this would be your name, your email, the college's name, Mercy College of Ohio, the course name, and that given date would all be indicated there. So other information, you can see what a classic abstract looks like. Do note that running head is no longer in place on page 2. You can see the page number 2 in there, and then that subsequent abstract is indicated, and then you can see what the body looks like. So just make sure you understand that abstract is centered and not left aligned. In that case, you look at the title here, the title is centered. So it gives you some nice tips. In this case, you can see traditional paragraphs, style, regular indentations, left alignment. Citations are all going to be alphabetical, so you can see B, G, J, and L, and so on and so forth, so all alphabetical all the way down, so make sure you do that as well, especially if you're using bibme.org. What I like about that site is you can actually plug in all of your resources on there. It'll auto-alphabetize them that way, and then you can just copy and paste the whole piece of information in there. So just wanted to give you a little bit of information again on that. I think, you know, utilize your hand manual the best you can, but certain professors will be more sticklers for APA style formatting than others, so I definitely wanted to throw out this resource for you and just try to get you a little bit more information. So you can either go based on what I kind of indicated before, which would be the paper title, your name, and then the institution's name, or you can use this format here. So this is indicated as a faculty preference. You know, for my classes, any class that you take with me, I really prefer what the APA hand manual says. So just kind of note that it doesn't matter one way or another which you decide to go with. But what I would probably tell you to do is to refer to this version of things, since majority of your professors will probably err on what the Writing Center gives us. So in this case, this is what has been provided. So you can see that information accordingly. But if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Happy to answer anything that you have. I know APA can be a little bit confusing, but for the most part, if you just continue to work with it, the more you apply the information, the easier it's going to come. The only other thing that I didn't indicate in here was kind of this in-text citation. So you can see this source that they got this information from. You can see basically anything that has numbers that comes from some type of source. So Caskey, 1994, so author's last name, so the first author, even if there's multiple authors, 1994. And then you can see in this case, they didn't have an author for this particular source. So you can see that the title is indicated here and then the date. So if we go back down, we should be able to see Caskey. Okay, so you can tell that this is a very strange example. It doesn't show you Caskey, so the example itself is flawed. So nonetheless, you can see, you know, that's how you would do it, I guess, in essence of things. So if you have any questions, like I said, be sure to let me know. Thanks.